TAVERN. Still on this road trip. Right now, I'm in Georgia making a stop. And it's still my 90-day retreat, but this is about connecting with others, as we already know. And I am here today with my lovely
Jayrena.
Yes. We are here and we are about to get this convo started about everything that has to do with I Am Who. You already know this is the I Am Who segment. So it's all about first getting to know each of the artists and creators based on who they are, and then knowing what they do and all of their Black excellence. Right now the segment is only intro to everything you do, but before we get into what you do, introduce just who you are. I am who is Jayrena, but without anything about what you do. I am who are you?
Hi, I'm Jayrena. I am an abstract artist and a overall creator. Very creative person. Who am I? I am a calm-spirited person. Yeah.
That's a good to the point. Why do you consider yourself that?
I consider myself a calm-spirited person because I'm very, I won't say mellow tone, but I'm just real like calm and easy. Listen to like everybody, just like free from confrontation. I just like to be full of serenity and just be positive at all times, because life too short to just be angry and bitter and just, you know, worrying about
negativity,
the worries of this world. Like, life and time gonna pass you by if you think like that. So I just like to let everything flow and let the universe just flow through me, feed off of good energy and project good energy to others. So that's just me.
That's good. That's all we like to have on this show. Definitely the fluency of good energy, good vibes, good peaceful and good mentality, you know, because not everyone is able to say they have a stable mentality. We can already tell by the vibes that her mentality is where it needs to be. Before we get to these lovely centerpiece arts, we're going to let her describe in a couple of words. Now, you said you're calm. Okay, but now that's kind of a characteristic, but how would you say you are? Like maybe one or two words, like Black excellence, but you can have whatever description of you that we don't know. You can say it in a sentence if you want.
I am a all-around determined, focused, strong, independent, Black creative woman. I do my best to not let anything conquer my mood or take control of anything that I have going on, because it's not from man, it's from God, and God and the Holy Spirit flows through me. And for me, just being an individual that can see something and put it in like any type of form, whether it be on paper, whether it flows out of my mouth, whether it's on a canvas, like I just try to bring every vision to life. I'm just that particular person that likes to use everything that I have, because we're think of us like plants. We're plants, and we are all packed with all types of nutrients, which would be purposes. And you never want to leave this earth without fulfilling every purpose that is in your life. Whatever you can do, because you don't want to get into the afterlife and be like, dang, like I was able to do that and I ain't do it, and my life could have been like this. Right. So tap in. So true. Yeah. Tap into everything that you know you can do or think you can do, and go for it.
Yeah. And it's best to always say, I don't tap in, but I say that because I don't tap into other people's energy. I tap more into my own, because sometimes projections come off the wrong way into your energy. So you do have to fill your energy, fill your cups, and make sure that you have a certain mind frame when you're doing these kinds of things when it comes to creativity, because it's about you. It's not like a job, you know, at all, because that job was created by someone already. So if you are a creator, that job may balance you, but you still have to, like she said, fulfill your own purpose and your own destinies. So because you mentioned that, let's get into what you do. What is your, you know, in order, however you want to say, and, you know, when it comes to what how you develop your passions, and then, you know, how they've blossomed over the time, your successes, and future projected, you know, projects that you have.
Okay. Well,
that you want to share, because I know sometimes some things are
yeah.
secret or like surprise. So whatever you know want to share.
Yeah. For me, I paint based off of feelings. So anytime I'm painting something, it's pretty much like something that was like meditated upon my spirit, and I just bring it into fruition, bring it to life where you can actually touch it and feel it. So for me, always been a creative individual since I was a little girl, and really tapped into it more versus like middle school. I never forget, I had an art teacher. She was one of those art teachers that would take something that people consider trash and turn it into something beautiful. I never forget, we did an art project where we took cardboard boxes and actually used them and made journals, and looking at some regular cardboard that you'll pack up and leave to your next destination and take it and make a journal out of it. It was like, dang, like
she opened it, she busted mine open a
yeah,
little bit.
like I was like, okay, I'm with it. So
that remind me of Out of the Box. Remember the show Out of the Box?
Yeah, that was my show. That was my show. But just to get into like what I actually do, these are a few of my pieces from this year. I really paint based off of like I said, my emotion, what I see and what I feel. I started back painting really like consistently about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was during the hurricane season. And one of the first things I did was a piece that I called God Watching the Earth, and basically it was God's face in my vision watching upon the earth, and he was crying because we were in such, you know, distress and turmoil, and it was hurting his heart. And we're in a time where we have to get ourselves together and work on our intimate relationships with God, because he's displeased with us right now. So that one, it's on my Instagram. That was like the very first one I did, and then from there I just took off. And one thing that I do that kind of sets me aside is when I do paint, I pray first. Some people may do it, I don't know. I'm talking about me. But I pray first, and then if you actually come across one of my paintings, you'll actually see a Bible scripture somewhere in it. It's kind of like where's Waldo? Like you look and you'll see it, and you're like, oh, okay, and if it resonates with you, then obviously like
it'll pop up.
It'll pop up, and then it's meant for you to actually, you know, have that. So anytime you are around something that's positive and it gravitates to you, it's like, okay, let me just take a look more into that. Like I do something about it.
That's sweet.
You know,
I like that.
So this one here, Rooted, is based off of a Senegalese African mask. And this is just my depiction of going back to your roots, the motherland, just knowing, you know, who you are and feeling all of that, you know, positive energy from your ancestors. Ironically, my family originates from Senegal, so that I really draw closer to like all the art and different facts about Senegal. And that's not the first one I've done, but definitely you'll see references of artifacts and things from Senegal in some of the pieces that I do. This whole month I have been working on a little art project where I'm recreating originals from years back and redeveloping them, just to kind of test my progression as an artist. And this is one of them. This is a remake of the Based in the Clouds. And everybody, when you look at art, you have your own perception as to what you see and what you feel, which is okay, because we're all different. We don't think the same, and that's one thing that makes us unique and wonderfully made. So definitely see the colors. You can feel them. All colors have energy. So you should always get a good vibe when you see art.
Yep. Shapes and colors, all those things have energy to it.
Also, I've been tapping into another art project of mine, coloring books. I've recently developed a coloring book, got it done, getting it published and everything. Geared towards mental health. It's called Color Through the Motions. It's also on all of my social platforms too. And just to won't get into full detail, you have to purchase it to actually really kind of feel where I'm coming from. But basically, it's geared towards 12 main emotions that male or female, young or old, deal with. Primarily geared towards teenagers and adults of any age range. But think of it like a coloring book journal. There's a quote, definition of the emotion, and some questions are just trying to kind of help you figure out what is causing you to be distressed or feel like you're insecure, don't have confidence, make you feel like you're lonely. There's also Bible scriptures too to just remind you that you have a blueprint to help you with any type of way that you are feeling. You don't need an actual physical human being to help you.
You do not.
We have the Bible, you got the Quran, whatever your belief is, if you go to that source, you will find a solution. And then there's 12 coloring pages too. So if you ever you can even look at my Instagram, you'll actually see a video
my copy
of
also.
it. But yeah, that's it. That's all you can see. But I'm working on some more. I won't get into great detail of those because they're like 85% finished, but they'll definitely be done before this month is over with, because I challenged myself to get things done in a timely fashion. Got to be organized, but definitely since I've got the first one produced and out to the public, it has really helped some individuals to kind of get their power back from what was taking over their focus and just having them unbalanced. So definitely check that out.
I like that, because that's definitely a big thing that I've been talking to a lot of people about, is just how they would kind of speak to not just our generation or the generation before us, but the generation behind us, because they're always watching us. And you know, being 90s babies, we still got our youthful ways,
Yeah.
but we got to remember that we're growing. You know, we're growing older, and
Yeah.
it's like we cannot still be stuck in our comfort zone of our youthfulness.
You gotta expand.
Yeah. And so you know, it's lovely, you know, seeing you. You know, I know her since college also. I love seeing her expand in all of her creative endeavors. And honestly, what would you say to, you know, like the generation right behind us, and you know, even those younger, and even just to in general, if you have a general like mission statement or purposeful statement that they can take as far as encouragement? Because right now, this is something that you've already become comfortable in, and you don't probably have uneasiness with everything going on in the world. It's kind of chaotic though right now in 2020 pandemic. You know, let's remind y'all, this is a 2020 pandemic interview session. So she's taking the time out. You know, we got the COVID mask, everything's going on, but you got to realize that not everybody right now is content. So, you know, some people are chaotic. Some people are going into that mental health, you know, point where they're not able to be stable. So, you know, thank you for having that, because not a lot of people thought about that. That's really good consideration of others, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, what would you say? Like, you know,
what I would say, limitations are of the subconscious. You have to always be in control of yourself. You know, let the universe lead you, but don't let man control you, because then you'll never be able to fully expand and soar your wings out to all the opportunities of the world. So don't never just have a one-way focus, you know. Never do that. Don't limit yourself to anything. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you, your higher power, whatever you believe in, because I know some people aren't religious.
right.
But you can do all things through the source that strengthens you. So don't let man tell you, oh, I don't think that'll work, or, you know, anything that an evil tongue can diminish your light. Remember that an evil tongue can diminish your light. So when things are being spoken, you got to project something positive to cancel it out. Okay.
That's so facts.
Definitely have to do that, because if I would have listened to people telling me, oh, art, can't make a living off of art, I tell you, since this pandemic, and this is not a job for me, it's just something that I love. And when you love to do something, it's not even a job anymore. But I have been great during this pandemic doing what I love to do and helping others. And when you are a blessing to others, you get blessed, but you shouldn't just do it just to receive anything. You should do it out of the kindness of your heart. But when you're doing something that you love to do, the reward, it comes in and you're just like, oh, I really did get that.
It's natural.
Thank you for that blessing, because I've been doing this so long. Sometimes you gotta pause yourself and be humble and understand that, as you're doing things that are not only, being beneficial to you but others, you see outcome.
Yeah, I love that. That's a good takeaway, especially because people need to know, like, to not lose sight of why you do what you love. Once you find your purpose, it's really important to really recognize and accept it for what it is, and understand that if you are a creative and it's a high creative purpose, you're not going to just get a check out the door when you start working on your art, when you start working on your craft, when you start working on your music, whatever it is. As an entrepreneur, nothing is handed to you right away. You have to do some work first, and then you'll start to see some of the fruits come out of your labor. But that's not your main focus. Like she was saying, your focus is to remember that you found your purpose. Be grateful that you found your purpose, and just enjoy doing what you do and what you love. And then the things that come to you, they'll come naturally. I view it as God is within us all, because that's a part of your building relationship with God, or your source, or whatever being you believe in.